Welcome, guys. Welcome. No camera, just me and my voice. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. So yesterday I was working on creating a AI video editing application with the help of three user agents. The first one that I'm using is Chat GPT right here. The second one is my Git Copilot, and the third one is Gemini. Okay, here's Gemini. Okay, so right now I left off at giving him this prompt. I gave him this prompt. It fixed an error that I had. The error was based on the installed faster whisper 1.1.1 imports the request package, but the project's dependency file did not install it. So basically, the project's dependency file did not install the packages, okay, or faster whisper, I believe. Let me see. The install file imports the request package. Yeah, so between these two, a package or two was not installed. I My best guess is that it was faster whisper. Install faster whisper, imports the request package. Right. So I gave him this prompt, and now I'm up to here. There was no issues when I gave him this prompt. Then install the updates required. So I'm gonna install the updates required. I'm gonna go to my terminal, my VS Code, Control V, and then enter. Wait, we did this already. Yeah. Let me see. How many did I run? What's this one? Mm. Then retry the direct diagnostic. Let me see. Yeah, model load success. Model load success. Okay. So we're good on this end now. The direct diagnostic did exactly what we needed. It exposed a missing Python dependency hidden behind the application save error message. Our request is installed and recorded in requirements.txt. We can try model download or or loading before running the full transcript test. So let me give him this image. Um, Let me Control Alt print screen. There you go. Press enter. I'll be right back. guys, I'm back. So, let's see what's going on here. So basically, he says success. The important line is model load success. That confirms request is installed. I wonder why. Why can't I wonder if I can give a description. Give a description on YouTube. I haven't done that yet. And why I want to know? Obviously, because I want to be able to give a direct description of what I'm doing on each video. Okay. Uh-oh. The halls of mirror, huh? Alright, so stream settings. Alright, see? This is what I want to. Let me edit this. Building a AI video editing tool from scratch. Let me just save this right here. And my message should be, let me get my notepad. Let me see, where is my, I don't know why this is here. Let me look for it. This is one of the skills I want to run one of these days. I got this from Ferdy.com. Here it is. So my message is this. So right here. This should be my message at all times, plus the title. So the title and my message. Control copy is going to be in the description. So Control Alt Control V. How to learn how to code. It's a little clunky though. Customization. Build a first draft quickly, test it immediately, debug one issue at a time. And then every time I finish a video, write down what you learned before moving on. And practical, directed learning turns confusion into progress. Great. Okay, great. So, how do you want to go live? Choose a broadcast type for your stream. Oh, it's already there, right? This is it. Stream software. Notice public. How and style. No thumbnail yet. I should create a playlist. Audience. Okay. No, it's not made for kids. Okay. So let me save it. Great. And this is probably number 3. All right. So I could X this out, I believe. I mean, it hasn't been a. Oh, look at that. Now it's showing this here. Before it was the halls of mirror. Let me see analytics. Stream health. Excellent. Yeah, I'll practice this. I never keep this open, so let's see how this works. Um. All right, good. So let's go and see what's going on here. Okay, success. The important line is model load success. Okay, that confirms request is installed. Okay, so this was the confusion up here, right? That I had. This one right here. So it was request. So the install faster whisper imports the request package. See, it's not plural. So it's talking about this package. But the project's dependency file did not install it. See, this is not a mistake, people. This is a learning moments. Now we know that this is an actual package, even though the grammar says it specifically. But wording can be quite um, fooling sometimes. So I don't directly rely or directly trust it instantly. Yeah, if that makes any sense. So, whatever's the case, I misread it. So that confirms request is installed. Faster Whisper imports correctly. Now it's, it's being choppy. Let me close this window. I believe it has to do with that. I got this one here. Oh, this latency. Why? Frame miss due to rendering lag. Why? Um, why would there be rendering? I'm not even using the video. It says it's good over here. Let me restart it. Reset. Okay, so now it's at 0. All right. Anyways, FastEraser imports correctly. The tiny model downloaded successfully. The model loaded on CPU using int8. The model is now cached, so future runs should be faster. The Hugging Face message are warnings, not errors. I have warnings. Hmm. I don't see warnings here. So the warnings are somewhere around here. Control 5. Warning. Okay, so we have warnings. You are sending on authenticated request to the HF hub. Please set AHF token to enable higher rate. Limits and faster downloads. Okay. So let's keep reading. So I wonder why refreshing and what did I reset? I guess I reset it everything and all these things. I reset a CPU usage, disk space available, memory usage. Okay. Maybe I resetted the cache and that's why it's at 0. Eh, okay. Live and learn. Okay, so back to the studies. All right, so the tiny model downloaded successfully. The model loaded. Okay. Okay, the Hugging phase message. A warning, not errors. Authentication is optional for this public model. Windows cannot use cache send links in the current configuration, so the cache may consume slightly more disk space. You do not need administrative mode or developer mode for this project to work. Now rerun the full transcription integration test. So let me go ahead and run this. Your environment variables should still be set. If you open a new terminal, set them again first. Guys, when I tell you that I was born to do this, and there's nothing that's gonna stop me, I was right. Not to be, cocky, if that's the word. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of pride. Alright, so no, not in there. There you go for your prideness. Okay, so let's start with a new. Nah, I like this. Let me look at all this clutter. Why not? So Control V and test. So we run in the test, and it looks successful already. So that's great. So now let's run the next command. Okay. The environment variables should still be set. If you open a new terminal, set them again first. So let's open a new terminal. So guys, I've been explaining and speaking about environment variables since my first or second video, and I've done like close to 300 videos, in less than a year. I would say no more than like 4 or 5 months, right? So yeah, I know a little something, and I bet a lot of developers don't know about this, and they're coding right now. Okay, TMI, and that's probably not as positive as I should be. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna go ahead and press Control Shift backtick to open a new terminal. Now I got all these terminals here, right? Okay, so Control V, and now I'm gonna enter, and what this is doing is environment run whisper CPU integration. That's a variable, I believe, and equals 1, which is true. Environment whisper allow model download, true. Environment whisper model, tiny. And then the other one is the device's CPU. The test video path is resolve data work whisper speech MP4. Okay, enter. And doing great. We're doing amazing. So basically, we're rerunning the test that failed in the first place, and it looks like it passed. Based on my knowledge, what we just accomplished, we corrected a missing declared dependency and successfully downloaded and initialized a real whisper model. The next run will go beyond loading. It will send the speech video through the node to Python bridge and verify that actual timestamp transcription comes back. Okay, great. So now let me give him a print screen. Control Alt print screen. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Pass it to him. Here we go. How we looking with FPS and all that? Looks great. No problems whatsoever. And we're rolling. So now, success. The real CPU transcription integration passed. 6 test files passed. 85 tests passed. 3 optional tests skipped. And real transcription completed in about 5 seconds. A real MP4 containing speech traveled through the complete transcription path. No validated the video. No securely launched the Python worker. Python loaded the actual whisper model. So Python is another AI model. We're talking about workers, no? No securely launched the Python workers. Let me ask my assistant over here. Okay. Hey, how are you, Gemini? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. How can I help you today?
Okay, so I'm looking at my screen right here, and we're speaking about Python. No, it says here no securely launched the Python worker. So is the Python worker a user agent also?
Based on the screen you are currently sharing, I don't see any mention of a Python worker or related security message. The shortcuts you have here are for online courses, HTML mentorship, dashboard, local hub, sign in, and HTML standard.
Well, can you tell me what a Python worker is?
Generally speaking, a Python worker refers to a separate, independent process or instance that executes tasks in the background or in parallel. This is often used in web development to handle heavy computations or long running operations without blocking the main application, or in task queues to distribute workloads across multiple workers. Would you be interested in learning more about how to implement one, perhaps with a specific framework or library?
Okay, so that's all I need from him right now. So it's a model that works on heavy load, right? That's basically what I got out of here. So you can't scroll on the messages. That's weird. Well, I gotta hit here, hit the keyboard, and then I'm able to read what he says. This is often used in web development to handle heavy computation or long running operations without blocking the main application or in task queues. Okay, great. So back to this over here. So this section over here that I'm doing with ChatGPT. Whisper extraction recognizes speech. Python returns timestamps JSON. So Node validated and accepted the transcript. Pipeline A now has working speech to text on CPU. So test NVIDIA GPU acceleration. Clear CPU mode and enable the CUDA integration test. So let's do that. Go to my VS Code. We're gonna go ahead and run this command and removed. We removed the environment variable. Run Whisper CPU integration, which we assigned over here at one point. We removed it, now it's false, or we just removed it. It doesn't exist. So now the model is already cached, so it should not need another full download. So let me copy this, right? It's gonna run Whisper CUDA integration, Whisper allow model download. Okay. Tiny CUDA flow 16, and then whisper to speech. Okay. If CUDA failed, that does not invalidate CPU transcription. It will likely mean C Translate 2 need compatible NVIDIA runtime library. Send me the complete results and we'll diagnose it without disturbing the working CPU configuration. So, again, one more time, I'm going to copy this and we're going to go ahead and run this command. Enter. And we have errors. Whisper CUDA integration, run local transcript worker in CUDA mode and confirm CUDA usage. So, error, Whisper transcription execution failed. Return new invalid transcription request or play message, return new model load failure array. So Python transcript, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and control alt print screen. See these errors, right? When you read them, one of them has exactly the exact detail that you need in order to understand the error, especially from a novice developer like myself. That's the message I want to give you right now. When you read these errors, you're not gonna understand it instantly like a senior developer, because by him seeing this, he knows exactly what's going on. But since we're novice to these errors because we're not used to seeing them, we don't know exactly what it means. But if you read each and every line, and maybe go into the stack trace or something like that, you're gonna find a word and you're gonna be like, oh, that's the problem. And you let's see if I could show you what I mean. So I'm gonna give this to him right here, to ChatGPT. This is the print screen, the screen image. All right. So let's see what he says here. The CUDA test reached whisper but failed during GPU transcription. CPU mode remains fully functional. The safe application error hides the underlying NVIDIA library message. So run this direct CUDA diagnostic. So that this deliberately forces the lazy segment iterator to run, which is when GPU libraries are actually used. So what happened? The GPU test failed after about 2.5 seconds. That commonly means the NVIDIA driver detects the GPU correctly. C Translate 2 can begin model initialization, but it requires CUDA or or, or CUD and N runtime DLL, which is dynamic library, something like that. Dynamic library is unavailable when an inference starts. We should not install CUDA components blindly. Send me the complete direct diagnostic output, especially any missing DLL name, and I'll identify the precise runtime dependency. Meanwhile, CPU transcription remains successfully validated and usable. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna run it. All right, Control V, and then enter. So what is it? It's giving him. This is definitely a command. Print loading CUDA model. So let's see. Wow. Library is not found. So Control Alt print screen. Control V. Enter. So there's a library, a DLL that's not found. Oh, wait. Okay. No, I'm not gonna talk to him now. I should have just. What does DLL stand for? Dynamic.
DLL stands for Dynamic Link Library. It's a
Okay.
type of file used in Windows that contains code and data that multiple programs can use at the same time.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. So the exact problem is confirmed. Runtime library cub Cublas64 dynamic link library is not found or cannot be loaded. Okay, so your NVIDIA driver supports CUDA, but the CUDA 12 runtime libraries required by C Translate 2 are not installed or discoverable. Current oh shoot. Excuse me guys, I didn't connect my charger, and these computers nowadays batteries don't last based on my understanding. I remember back in the days, these batteries last for a whole day, or am I? Maybe it's my computer. So your NVIDIA driver supports it, but are not installed or discoverable. Current C Translate 2 Windows wheels require CUDA 12 for GPU execution and faster whisper. Additionally, requires a cub blast and CUD and N. So C Translate installation document. Faster whisper GPU requirements. We should keep these large. Does this mean he read this over here? Hmm. Installation install with pip. Binary Python wheels are published on pip app and can be directly installed with. All right, that's interesting. So we should keep these large GPU packages optional, so CPU only the only users aren't forced to install them. Give Copilot this correction. Okay, let's give him the correction. Copy. Control V. And then enter. Wow, what is this? Do not. Why is it yellow? Hmm. I don't recall seeing my. I don't recall seeing this yellow. Like, let's say the last one that I ran. Let me look at this command over here. Let me look at this command over here. Didn't we run? They disappeared or something? Oh, because it doesn't belong in here. All right, exit, exit, exit. Why isn't it not? All right, Control Shift back to. And this one I'm going to delete. X this one out. Uh-oh, Control backtick. Kill terminal. Delete. Oh, I could just press delete. Okay, good. This goes in here. Wow, that was quick. See again, my CLI can give me. I can give it prompts. I'm not sure if it's installed. I installed it before and I made a video of it. I haven't uploaded it to YouTube. I could show you guys how to install user agent in the terminal. You could prompt it questions. So he's inspecting the worker import path and current Python test first, so I can add the window dynamic link library directory bootstrapped in the narrowest place and extend tests without disturbing CPU behavior. I found the right insertion point, the lazy faster whisper import in Python servers. I am patching only that worker's runtime path plus tests docs optional GPU requirements. Then I'll run Python until tests and existing TypeScript validation. The GPU runtime bootstrap and tests are in place. I am running the Python mocked unit test first, then the existing TypeScript validation command. So added optional Windows GPU runtime support for the faster whisper worker without changing CPU behavior. So files change. These files I haven't even looked at. Let me keep. So this is on transcription. And PY has to be Python. The workers maybe from future. Yeah, this is Python. What? Okay, let me close this. I don't want to make any changes. Okay, so what changed? Okay, so let me give him the final output. This is optional GPU runtime, but let me see what he wants me to do next here. So after Copilot completes the change, install the optional GPU dependencies. So let's install the dependencies. And worker v environment. Let me copy this. I want to ask my guy what this means. Okay, so yeah, install requirement, enter. Great. So hey, so worker AI dot VENV. What does that mean?
That's a combination of a project name or folder like worker plus AI, and the .ven part stands for virtual environment. In Python, that directory holds a specific isolated installation of Python and the packages your project needs, so it doesn't interfere with other projects on your computer. Are you working on setting up a virtual environment for something right now?
Virtual environment. Okay, so no errors here. So let's see what's next. Installing collect the package NVIDIA Acuda. All right, so wait. So these downloads may be large. What happened? The GPU and drivers are working, but NVIDIA SMI only proves drivers capability. Whisper also needs CUDA computation libraries inside its runtime environment. We are adding those libraries to the project private virtual environment and teaching the worker to find them without modifying the entire computer path. CPU transcription remains available regardless. So he says here, Whisper also needs CUDA computation libraries and so we are adding those libraries to the project private virtual environment. So we're technically adding it to the local host, no, and teaching the local host, right, and teaching the worker to find them without modifying Great. So let me give them a screenshot or let me copy this over here, right? Final response. Let's see. I guess that's what he's always waiting for before he gives me the next step. He's speaking to me and telling me what happened, but he doesn't give me the next step, and it's clearly because he's waiting for a response, and that's usually the response that he's waiting for. So this is the correct design. GPU support remains optional. The project does not modify the machine-wide path, and all 15 Python tests plus the TypeScript suite passed. Now install the GPU runtime package into the project virtual environment. I'll copy this. Pilot has detected type annotation in your code and recommends enabling type checking. Would you like to change this setting? Um, Control O, print screen. I want more information about this. And what is this? What is this? Pilot should be here somewhere. It went away. Local. Oh, here's the warning. Highlands. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, great. Last time I hit the red one. Don't hit the red one, or else you're gonna close on ChatGPT. This. And did I give him the? No, I haven't. Let me give him this PowerShell command. Let me see what he says. The pilot's message is not an error. Pilots notice that the Python code uses type annotation and is asking whether VS Code should check them while you edit. Type annotations look like this. They help pilots detect issues such as passing a number where a file path is expected. Click yes. It will likely enable basic Python type checking and VS Code. I recommend basic, not strict, for this project initially. This only affects editor diagnostic. It does not change how Python runs. Also, the terminal confirms that the GPU library is installed successfully. Now rerun CUDA integration tests with existing environment variables. So, short summary, Pylance is offering additional development time error detection. It is unrelated to the CUDA installation and is safe to enable the large GPU runtime download complete successfully. So the next test will determine whether Whisper can now transcribe using your RTX. Well, he did tell me to run this though, so the download may be large after installation. We run the application integration test, not the earlier direct Python diagnostic, because the new dynamic link library registration lives inside the project worker. So let me do this one more time. I'm not sure. See, in order for him, let me do it in here. Well, I don't have to do this. I could just give him a screenshot. Control Alt print screen. V. No. Control Alt print screen. Should I run this first? Should I run the download because the yes, run that environment variable block first in the same VS Code terminal, then run npm test to avoid accidentally enabling both CPU and CUDA. So start with run environment, right? Error action, silently continue. So let me see something. I have to press yes over here. Uh, Let me give him this. What am I supposed to do with this? I I hit yes for the and this is what I got. Finance open the relevant VS Code settings, but it is still. Can you make a wise choice sometimes and be like, yeah, I'm not asking this question because it's just gonna throw me off the rail? Yeah, but I still think your mentality should be ask every question. Don't leave a question behind. All right, so open the drop down currently showing off. So we're gonna open the drop down currently showing off and basics. Okay, that's where I was trying to get to. Provide useful checks without requiring every external library to have perfect type definition. Afterwards, return to the terminal and run the CUDA environment followed by. Okay, so we have to run this. First of all, let me look at the other one that he gave me here. So this was installing. We installed worker requirement GPU Windows.txt. So we installed this library here. What is this library? So the download may be large. After installation, we run the application integration test, not the earlier direct Python diagnostic because the new. So this is the GPU support optional project does not modify machine-wide path or now install GPU runtime packages. Okay, so we install GPU runtime packages into the project virtual environment. So that's what we did here. So, but here we're not installing here. We're not installing, we're running a command, a run whisper CPU integration, which is error action silently continue. Yeah, so yes, run the environment variable block first and the same, then run npm. Okay. To avoid accidentally enabling both CPU and CUDA tests, start with this. Okay, so we start with this. So I'm good on this end. I can easily close this. There's no save or enable button or OK or apply. Just exit out. We good here. So let's go ahead and run this command. Enter. I see something red here. What does that mean? Command executed. Now took OK and failed. Control Alt print screen. Let me maximize this. It failed. Control Alt print screen. I have to give them this information. Failed. I wonder if this tells me how much. Update. Update what? How much tokens I have left. I guess I'll figure this out soon enough. So only the cleanup command failed, likely because run whisper CPU integration was already absent. That is harmless and is actually the state we wanted. The GPU package installed successfully. Successfully installed. Now continue with this. It's the same one as up here. The red indicator was not a GPU installation failure. It only came from trying to remove an environment variable that was not present. Okay, great. Why was it trying to remove anything? Oh, okay, so it was already removed. Only the cleanup command failed. Yeah, the remove command, likely because was already absent. That is harmless and is actually the state we wanted. Great. So let me copy this one more time. I believe I ran this already. No, I didn't run it now. So basically, we keep giving these environments permission. So this is the CUDA integration one. Okay, tiny CUDA. To test the video power. Let's press enter. Hmm. All right, it's your turn, my friend. Um, Control Alt print screen. Control V. Error. I'm gonna let him fix this himself. He's really good at this stuff. I wish I can see my laptop from my phone. And I think I can use Windows wireless to do that. Then when I'm in the kitchen, I can actually work on it. But what does he say? I am checking the CUDA integration failure at the worker boundary first, focusing on the actual transcription error mapping rather than broad repo changes. I'm gonna press allow right now. The failure is local and specific. Explicitly CUDA mode is still classifying a CUDA runtime failure during as a generic model. I'm fixing that error path. So explicit CUDA failed clearly and auto mode can fall back to CPU if the runtime breaks after the model. I've patched the worker to handle. Okay, so this is the final. Oh no, it's not. It's not the final. I've patched the worker to handle CUDA runtime failures at execution time instead of only at model grid. Next, I am tightening Python until covered for this exact case. Then I'll rerun Python tests and existing TypeScript. Okay. The targeted. Okay. So we're running the command again, meaning that he made some changes and now he's testing it to see if it works. This is on. My laptop is asleep, but I can hear the fan on. Uh, I've patched the worker to handle CUDA runtime failures at execution time instead of. Yeah, I already read this. The code path is fixed now. The remaining failure is a real environment runtime. So it looks like he's going in circles now, and that's not good. Let me press keep. I don't know what else to do here. The remaining CUDA failure is real and narrower than before. The worker finds and registers. Okay, allow. What this means? Okay, he's preparing something here. So I patch optional Windows GPU requirement to include X, Y, and Z. Which so now he's gonna run environment CUDA integration download whisper allow model download. Okay, flow 16 and tiny and CUDA, and then whisper speech MP4 run. Okay, let's allow it. Let's see what happens. Okay. What is he doing? The remaining failures look like a Windows Loader Edge case, a dynamic library. Oh wow. Which one are we using? What model are we using here? It says auto. Which one is it? It just says auto. Alright, let me leave it right there. Oh. I've confirmed the runtime defect. The dynamic library directory alone is not enough for this lazy CUDA load path on Windows, but process local path Augmentation fixes it without touching machine path. I am applying that narrow worker only fix and adding text coverage. The worker fixes is in. I am rerunning Python test. CUDA Pro, CUDA integration test, and then the normal transcript validation with Whisper integration. Environment clear. Okay. Hmm. All right, so we're running into a lot of issues here. Hmm. Then I'll rerun the Python test. So this is quite a challenge for Git Copilot. He's been going in circles, and I haven't seen him do that in a while. So now I'm getting a little worried because then it becomes an infinite iteration, and when that happens, he kind of gives up, and then it asks me if he wants me to give him the permission to keep iterating until he fixes it. Oh, I got a response. The practical root cause was not just missing; it was missing optional CUDA runtime package in the environment and virtual environment and a Windows lazy low path that required process local path augmentation addition to. Okay, so let's see what he says here. The test is still reading path after the patch context has exit. I am moving the assertion capture inside the patch environment so it checks the actual mutated. Uh, I gotta remember what mutated means. This is very important terminology, guys. So since it's very important, let me ask this guy what this means. Hey, so it says here the test is still reading path after the patch contents has exited. I am moving the assertion capture inside the patch environment so it checks the actual mutated process path, not the restored outer one. Can you explain or define the word mutated in this sentence?
In this context, mutated means changed or modified. It refers to the process path that was altered during the patch, so you're checking that specific altered path rather than the original one.
Okay, guys, why do I tell you that terminology is key? Because in order to open a door, you have to know the right terms. You can't expect something that you don't know about. It's like the let's call them Indians, for lack of a better word. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard the story where the Indians are at the beach, right? They're at the edge of the beach. They're not in the water, and a boat comes by. They don't see the boat because they don't know what a boat is. So what do they think it is? A rock. Mm-mm. Yeah, you go figure. I know what I'm talking about. I've read about this. And I assure you that that's very important. Anyways, if you don't know the term, you're not going to go get the proper information. Or that door is not going to be open for you to go in and find that information you're looking for. TMI, here we go. So mutated basically means that change, right? That's what you said, right? That's a combination of oh, no, oh, wait, no. In this mutated means change or modified. Great. As I figured, as I thought. So again, I am moving the insertion capture inside the patch environment so it checks the actual mutated process path, not the restore outer one. So that fixed the test scope bug. Running the Python worker test one last time. The error is resolved at worker runtime later. What actually? Okay, so let me give this to my guy over here. Copy final response, and also I'm gonna give him the print screen and see what he can tell me, right? So I'm gonna give him the print screen, copy final response, and then he most likely gonna give me a skill prompt, if that's what it's called. And I'm gonna press enter. Okay, according to Copilot report, the fix succeeded. The red failure visible in the terminal is the early test run before the runtime fix. First, click keep in the Copilot panel to accept and retain the three change files. Okay, yeah. Smart guy. You smart guy, Chat GPT, aren't you, huh? So we're gonna keep the service Python files, I believe. Test transcription requirement, GPU Windows. Then ensure the newly added CUDA runtime package is installed. Okay. So we're installing it. And then finally perform one clean full CUDA verification. We're installing it again. I don't know how many times I've installed this. Great. 5,000 serial cells to analyze. Great. Um, where am I gonna put you guy? I don't think I need information. Okay. I like to see what's going on. Oh, yeah, but why does he popping up? Douchebag. All right. Now that I now that I ensure that the newly CUDA runtime package is installed, I'm gonna go ahead and copy um, CUDA verification and enter. Why do you call it CUDA verification? That's weird. Fingers. Ooh, child, it worked. Great. Why would you call it perform one clean full CUDA verification? How's this a verification if it's given it permission? The CUDA integration true. Allow model download true. Whisper model tiny. Whisper device CUDA. Whisper compute type is float 16. And then test video path. Perform one clean full CUDA verification. Okay. A window loaded the GPU libraries in two steps, creating the Whisper model, performing the first GPU calculation. The original fix handled stage one. The second stage also needed the private virtual environment GPU folder added to the worker process temporary path. Copilot added that without changing your permanent Windows path. The target CUDA has reportedly passed. The final full run will give us visible confirmation before approving milestone 5. Okay, great. Control Alt print screen. So we good here. It's time to go to my 9 to 5. Um, get ready to go to my 9 to 5 because if it was up to me, I'll keep coding it. And yeah, bills need to get paid. And this is this is where my passion lies, and you can't go wrong with passion. But the bills need to get paid, and I'm gonna go to work. It's just that simple. So, success milestone 5 is fully approved. The screenshot confirmed CUDA integration pass. Whisper actually use your RTX 3080 85 test pass. Zero failure CPU test was skipped because CUDA mode was intentionally selected. Other expensive integration tests remain skipped as intended. What we accomplished. The application can now transcribe video speech locally using either CPU as a reliable fallback and video GPU for faster processing. The complete flow is working, right? We give them the video, then Node.js, Python worker, Whisper GPU, then we get the timestamp transcript. Basically, we get a timestamp transcript because it's able to listen to my voice and then create automatic transcript, or what's the caption, something like that. Clear the integration variable. Okay, let's clear it. Perfect. So what this means, we remove item. We remove the run whisper code integration. We remove the allow model. We remove the whisper model, the device model, the compute type, test video path. Great. So guys, I'll see you guys later. Like I said, I gotta get back to work, and we're gonna have more fun when I come back. And see you soon.